What happens when we die, when our heart stops? Does the soul go somewhere? Does consciousness continue? These are age-old questions, but we're starting to get answers by looking at near-death experiences. Several organizations collect data on near-death experiences where people have died and come back and let us know what happened to them. We took a study of 787 cases from one of those organizations, and we found that more women than men responded, and people from all over the world responded, so it's not a representative sample of the United States population. And we found several causes. Most were accidents or illnesses, surgery, heart attack, etc. Most were clinical death, such as the heart stopping or a person being underwater for a long time, serious conditions like medical conditions or surgery or illnesses, another big part. Non-life-threatening situations. This is a surprise because you can be suffering from depression or just a spiritual experience and have a near-death experience. And 12% were undetermined. Now, if we take a drug overdose, for example, we don't know if that's clinical death or good physical health. So if we take those percentages out, the indeterminates, then the percentages really are 36% for clinical death, 57% for serious condition, and almost 36% for non-life-threatening situations. And what do we find? A large percentage, almost 70%, have an out-of-body experiences. This is where people look down at their body. They can see the world and their body as if from a point outside of their head. 66% see a light. This is often mixed with a tunnel or a pinpoint of light that one approaches. Strong emotional tone, which is usually very overwhelming love, comfort, feeling of security, and of being home. Knowledge and insight is another factor given. People seem to understand everything about the universe, why they're here, what the purpose in life is, that kind of thing. Unearthly beings are very common. This can be religious figures or angels or beings of light. And darkness is another common thing, not necessarily in that sequence. Sometimes people experience darkness and then continue with the other events. Events out of keeping is kind of hard to define. It could be something as simple as believing in an afterlife or a different religion, but it could also be some kind of political or metaphysical beliefs. As an example, one fellow reported that he heard music from flowers. Different flowers have different melodies or different harmonics. These are all events out of keeping. Landscapes and cities are also very common, like a library or a city of gold, very common. Seeing deceased loved ones, usually relatives, parents, very common. Seeing a void, this is hard to describe, but it's no sensations at all, more of just an awareness of your thoughts, but not seeing anything, hearing anything, or feeling anything. A boundary, this equates often to mythology such as the Hades River, but it can be simple, something simple like a fence. Life review isn't that common, maybe 22%. That's where people can look back on their life. One fellow saw it as a line where he could just dip into the line and see different parts of his life and a vision of the future. This is usually a personal vision of what's going to happen, like they're going to get married or have children, but sometimes it includes a prophecy about the earth. Some researchers have tried to replicate near-death experiences using drugs. One of the main differences between the drug experiences and the genuine near-death experiences is the fact that the genuine experiences often include very strong and long-lasting after effects. The main after effects are loss of the fear of death. People are no longer afraid to die. They have a new sense of life purpose, will often change careers. They have a change in their belief systems. They might believe in reincarnation or God or a religion they weren't interested in before. Many have psychic and healing abilities, and many report changes in personal relationships. These are pretty big numbers. There are lesser changes too, like feelings about friends and society, and changes in jobs and studies. These are the frequencies. Usually, though, this represents a very strong life change. Most people report the experience as wonderful, only 9% frightening. Usually it's a mixture of frightening or confusing things and wonderful things. I've written a book on the subject, which is free at my website, and a white paper. Here's the website. You can see this statistical summary or the book. Both are free online. Thanks for listening.